All right, we are live at Chance's house, and this is season 1, episode 4, doing the interview with Mr. Devin Pike. Devin, how are you, man?
Are you recording this? Are you a cop? You have to tell me legally if you're a cop.
Not a cop.
That's just what a cop would say.
All right, Devin. Hey, I appreciate you spending some time with me and doing a quick interview. And this will be probably one of many. I mean, I'm going to be doing this show at least once a week, and we'll have more topics, especially when we get a little bit closer to Who Needs Sleep. For more information on the 36-hour cancer telethon that is known as Who Needs Sleep, you can go check out whoneedsleep.org for more information. By the way, I've got my slot already set, so I'm ready to go because I like to get in early. It's like putting
you've been there all 4 years as well, and I can't wait to see you again.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so with that said, Devin, the final word is yours. Go.
Be kind to each other. It is, and the world is on fire right now. We have to be kind to each other if we're going to make it through this. Run fast, laugh hard, be kind.
Couldn't have said it better. You guys, we're going to take a short break right after this, and I'm going to get up and play some tunes. This is live at Chance's house, brought to you by Joe's Tavern and Grill. Devin, thank you so much.
Booger.
We'll see you guys in a minute. Thanks. All right, back live at Chance's house, season 1, episode 8. And I'm very excited to have my first interview outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, outside of the state.
Awesome.
And all the way from California, ladies and gentlemen, this is Xavier Valdez. Xavier, how
nice
you
to
doing?
Meet you, everybody. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
This is the first time anyone's seen my face, because I'd made it a point to cover up my face on all social media platforms.
Right.
Because who cares about my face?
The mystery is kind of cool, and I noticed that when I first saw your Instagram page. And speaking of that, that's kind of how we met. So
that's exactly how we met. Yeah.
The short version, and I told this last week when I played one of your songs, I kind of said that, is that, we were really just networking, and right. I was looking for people. I know you've been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And, I was just like, hey, you want to like my page? And it ended up being kind of cool because then we're sharing stories about what music we like, and
exactly
found out that we had some stuff in common. Tell me about your social media. Tell me about your website. What do you want to promote? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so social media, you can find me at XavierV1 for Instagram, or you just type in Xavier Valdez. There's a picture of me. You can't see my face. Website is XavierValdez.com. That is your one-stop shop to every single one of my links: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. XavierValdez.com has your one-stop shop for everything. All links.
That's awesome. Well, we'll shout that out to the world and make sure everyone sees that. Guys, check out the latest from Xavier Valdez on Spotify. Go check out the song Responsible. I played it last week. I've played it once before. It's a great song. He's got other great songs on there as well. I want you guys to take a look at it. In the meantime, Xavier, the final word is yours. Go. What do you have to say?
I really appreciate this, man. I really appreciate just how you and I met, and how little backstory. One night I'm browsing through Instagram and you came up on my little sponsored ads. I'm like, I never ever click on anybody. I hate doing that. I'm just like, ugh. I was like, who's this guy? And then every step played. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. You got me. I was like, this guy's cool. This guy's really cool. And so I had to reach out. I was like, this song is sick. So like, I'm grateful for people like you who, just keeping us connected and just doing good in the world. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm grateful for you just because we have a connection now. And quite frankly, even though we're, miles away, right?
Yeah. Right.
We've got the opportunity to continue to network, and, who knows, maybe one of these days we'll share a stage,
Let's do that.
One of these days we'll be able to do something. Maybe we can even collaborate on something. The way that music works nowadays, I send you a file, you send me one. Next thing you know, we got a song written.
Exactly.
Those are the kind of things that are really exciting that makes me want to do this. It's not just about, oh, hey, check me out.
Right.
I love surrounding myself with people that are more talented than me, quite frankly, because I always get something better than me. No,
Yeah.
but I listen, I'm really glad that we've had a chance to connect, and this has been a great interview, and I can't wait to see the next things that you put out. And we've got, we all have something to go out and do good. And I appreciate everything. So the final word's been said, folks. We're going to get back to it here live at Chance's house, season 1, episode 8. This has been Xavier Valdez. Stick around. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to get back on. I'm going to do some live music for you. Hope you guys are having a great night. We'll be right back.
And a 1, 2, 3.
Come on! All right, everybody. Season 1, episode 12 of Live at Chance's house. And today is an excellent day for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, my friend and founder of Red Dirt Outlaws, Delano Bryan, is here with us. Del, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing, Chance?
I'm doing great. So we got a lot of things that are they're pretty exciting. So this is the show that's kind of kicking off the week. We've got some stuff that's coming out tomorrow. The new single from Red Dirt Outlaws, No Breaks, is dropping at midnight, streaming everywhere. So it's pretty cool. But, you know, the interesting thing is that this entire time I've been doing Live at Chance's house, and you've been a part of it. You've seen it. It started off for me with an iPhone. Then it got into a little bit more complicated stuff. Then I couldn't get the sound right. So everybody knows you by name because I've talked about you. And everyone's probably seen your snarky comments because I can always rely on you for that.
Of course.
But nobody knows you. So let's talk for a minute, man. Tell the audience a little about you and just kind of how we met in general, and let's talk.
I've been in the music scene in Dallas and different places for years. Worked in productions. I've toured with people and really enjoyed that part of it, but wanted to come back to Dallas and come up with a sound that was kind of lacking. You know, there's a lot of guys doing it now, and it's really taking off. But starting with, you know, Brian Martini and I had hooked up, you know, putting something together, and started looking around at you know, where, you know, getting music, getting songs, going to publishers. We started getting a lot of things pitched to us that were just dynamite songs out of Nashville that hadn't been recorded or produced yet. So we took those on, started going through them and seeing what really kind of fits our genre, what message we're trying to get across of good old American male, guys having fun, you know, bringing fun back into music. And started looking around, and I think you had been talking to Brian because you've used Brian before.
Mm-hmm.
I had been talking to him about filming at the studio. Brian and I are knocking our heads together. We've had some guys come out and audition that just did not get our style. You know, it's like I've said before, if you're going to audition for Red Dirt and then you're going to go audition for Weezer, that should tell you probably aren't getting our style of music. You know, Brian, I said, hey, I've got this guy Chance. He's got a great voice. He's been in Dallas forever. He's kind of a big deal, is what I'd heard. You know, everybody says that. I think there's a T-shirt out. I think we talked to you and had you come out, and it's been awesome. I mean, to watch you embrace what we're trying to do and the kind of sound and taking it as your own has been awesome. You know, because a lot of people, and I've been in projects where people are just phoning it in. They're just doing it for a paycheck. And to see someone, you know, with your talent and ability that has embraced it and said, you know, this part of RDO, you've owned it. You know, you're still doing the Chance and doing your stuff and your writing, which is awesome. But for what we're wanting to do, you've just embraced it. And that's been a freaking godsend for us.
Del, the final word is yours. What do you want to end this with?
You know, there's what's happening all around us is everybody, you know, love your fellow man, you know, embrace those around you. Even if you're not understanding what they're going through, understand that to them, whatever they're going through is important to them. So be understanding and be patient, be gentle, be merciful, have grace. And I think America's, I think we'll get through this, and that's my final word.
I think that was very well said, and I really appreciate you mentioning that. And there is a lot of things happening, so we're excited to be part of the solution. And as I've said before, is listen and be kind. And if we can do that, we'll all make it through. All right, this is a special edition of Live at Chance's House, brought to you by Joe's Tavern and Grill, our illustrious sponsors. I want to introduce a friend of mine and a singer-songwriter from Nashville. His name's Blue Sanders. Blue, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's a little warm, but I'm doing pretty good.
So I figured that we could just, rap about whatever we want. There's no agendas here. I've been doing this now for about 10 episodes, and I've got about 3 interviews under my belt. And by no stretch of the imagination do I say that I'm an expert in this, but I actually enjoy and have a lot more fun just riffing. So we'll just have a conversation.
Sure. Let's do it.
I think most importantly, because a lot of people were introduced to you last week when I did this episode, I played a song from one of your older albums. I played Get in the Car and Drive, but I played the full band version because I like that song a lot. And I kind of told everyone what was going on and what you're doing. So why don't you just introduce yourself and give us a quick history? There's people watching and they're going to want to know.
Well, let's see. I'm from El Paso. My name's Blue Sanders. I started playing music in high school, and I started guitar lessons sometime in high school, and I started a band. Like, we had a gig. So a friend of mine, Rick Brooks was his name. He played the drums. He's now a fireman in Las Vegas. And Paul Armendariz, who was always just he was like the younger brother of Mike Armendariz. I don't know if you know the Armendariz brothers. And Paul was like this young kid who could just play the guitar, even when he was like 13 years old. And so we got a band together. We decided, I would say we were pretty bad. If I had to, take an honest look at what we were doing at 17, and Paul was a couple years younger, and Rick and I were the same age. And we got a gig, and we didn't have a singer, and we were getting close. We were going to play like at a tailgate party in the parking lot, and it was getting down to the wire. We had no singer. We had learned some covers. And I said, well, I guess I could try to be the singer. And Rick and Paul were like, well, no, we're going to find a singer, man. We're going to search high and low. And we never found a singer. So I ended up being the singer. And that was the first time I thought, well, I'm not a terrible singer. We had written one original song, and we played a gig in the parking lot, and it was probably my best gig I've ever played. People ask, are you going to go on the road again? You going to open for Matt again? I don't know. It's a small fortune to get out and go on the road. I would love to play more. I hope to do that. I definitely have been revitalized musically and creatively, and I feel strong creatively. So, hopefully I'll just continue to do what I'm doing. Nobody can stop you from writing songs. So
Absolutely.
Take swinging.
Well, you could always learn. You could always learn Stairway to Heaven.
I actually have a list of songs. I emailed one of my buddies who plays downtown a lot in cover bands, and he's a drummer, and he's emailing me like the list of all the songs. Do I want to learn a bunch of Luke Bryan songs? Yeah. Not really, but I have learned a couple, and it's like you can pick the ones you like, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's actually a pretty good song. You're like, you sort of get a better perspective on stuff. I probably won't sing one margarita, two margarita shot, but maybe. It's like, wait a minute, this guy and people like him have fun all the time with music, and I've like lived a life like torturing myself to try to be this heart-wrenching, honest singer-songwriter, and there's not a lot of fun in that kind of stuff. And so I say that a lot about country artists and country audiences in general. You go to a country festival, people are having a killer time. They're just like hanging out in the sun and drinking beer, and that's it. Like, that sounds great. That's what am I doing with my life? Like, what have I done this whole time? I'm like, let me just stab myself in the heart again. I didn't, and like rehash all my ex-girlfriends in a song one more time. Like, what is that? Why these guys are like they're like on four-wheelers in the mud with like girls in bikinis, and they really are doing that. Like, that's
Right.
not a joke. They're actually like, oh, let's go drive four-wheelers out of the mud. That sounds incredible. Like, that's amazing. Wait a minute, they have it right. They've been doing it right this whole time. Meanwhile, I'm like, do you think I can get 6 people to come to the coffee shop and hear me, spill my guts again? Like, what have I done? I've always kind of said, like, I went coffee shop and I should have done country. So I think a lot of it, like, even learning a bunch of cover songs, like I was singing through a Luke Combs song the other day, and I was like, okay, well, this is a pretty good song. It's like, wait a minute, take a step back, buddy. It's not, there's a lot of paths here. There's a lot of ways. Everything doesn't have to be self-torture. You could actually sing a song and whoop it up and have a good time and not be ashamed of that. So those are all little lessons to be learned, I think. I really do.
So listen, this has been a fascinating introspection and history on my friend Blue Sanders. And listen, for those of you who don't know, get out, go to iTunes, go to Spotify, look him up. It's BLU Sanders on Spotify or iTunes or on all streaming platforms. And check out his latest 2 albums. He did a 50 and 50 for really no reason at all out of it just got there. And he's got 2 great albums that have come out of it, An Exercise in Loneliness, Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're available now. And if you want, as I quote Blue, if you got an hour and a half to kill on each album, it's a great buy. It's something I really enjoy. And I appreciate having the time to catch up with you, Blue. And I hope that we get to do this again very soon. Right after this, folks, is the second half of Live at Chance's House. And I'm going to be playing a little tunes for you. And hopefully we get to catch up again very soon. And Blue, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You bet. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
All right. You have a great day.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, Live at Chance's House, Season 1. Welcome,
Hello,
everyone.
hello.
Hey, Ryan, we got my good friend, brother from another mother, bandmate for life, member of Acoustic Karma, member of Bad Karma, member of Delta Rage. This is my friend, Ryan Cassidy. Ryan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Chance. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great. This is I'm glad that we finally got to get a chance to talk and get together. So.
Me too. Thank you for having me on your show. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, one of the things that has come about all of this stuff isn't just the fact that I'm doing interviews with people, but it's also been an opportunity for me. I've actually learned a lot about people that I actually know. I mean, there's sometimes you start a conversation, you may not know something about somebody that, just because you may have known someone for years doesn't mean you know everything. And there's actually been a lot of stuff that's come to life. One of the things that I was thinking about, kind of getting into this interview a little bit is, how exactly did you get started? And oh, by the way, for our audience, Ryan is a killer guitarist. So this is the guy that, I want to learn how to play like, and he would laugh that off and go, no, whatever, but,
you're too kind.
But Ryan is a lead guitarist and has been, and we've been playing together for, well over, gosh, at this point, it's probably 11 years, I think.
Yeah.
And, but he's been playing for a long time. And, he's originally from New York, Jefferson Station.
Jefferson Station. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
He's originally from Jefferson Station, New York, and he got down here to Texas at some point. So Ryan, how did you get started? Like the whole guitar thing, when did you get the bug? And, tell me a little bit about how you kind of got started.
Well, I started when I was like 13, started getting into guitar and getting interested in playing guitar, but I've always liked music, I had done karate from 10 till 13. So I joined karate when everybody joined karate when the Karate Kid came out, everybody joined. So that's what I did for about 3 years. And then, then my sister started dating Steve, who she's married to now for, gosh, over 20 years. And he played guitar. So Steve had an electric guitar, which when you're 13 years old, that's the coolest thing ever. It's just to see one, and hold one, and just that fact that he had one was so cool. So I was hooked. Just being able to play his and watch him play with his band and stuff like that. Just started getting into all different kinds of music, started playing guitar. So, so I attribute it to him, really. He got me into playing music, really. And then I found it was just something I really love. And, I'm still doing it. I'll always do it.
Did you take lessons?
I took some brief lessons. It's funny that I tell everybody I learned more from watching Stevie Ray Vaughan videos than I did any lesson that I ever took, really. Because these videos are amazing. They'll show his hands right up on the neck and see what he's doing. And I'll talk about Stevie more in a second. But I took classical lessons surprisingly for a year. Straight up reading music, classical lessons. And I appreciated that, but I definitely, after a while, the guy that taught me was great, After a while, I just realized reading music was just like math to me, and I didn't really, it was like homework trying to do it that way. I wanted to rock out. Everybody, I was into Aerosmith, I was into rock bands, arena rock stuff. So, I can't turn up my acoustic classical guitar and play loud, so that.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah. My Fender amp I play actually goes to 12. Actually, every knob goes to 12. It's one too louder.
Here's what we're gonna do. We'll wrap up this segment and listen to everyone who's watching here live at Chance's house. Season 1's the interview with Ryan Cassidy. I'm sure we'll see Ryan back on a future episode with some more stuff. But Ryan, right now, the final word is yours. What do you want to say? Go.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Hit him with a high, man.
Hit him with the hind. Hit him with the hind.
I'm going to say I love you, man. Thank you so much for having me. And I can't wait till I see you in person, hopefully soon,
All right, brother. Love you too, man. I appreciate you being on. And so for everyone who's watching here, like I said, this is my good friend, Ryan Cassidy. Check out his band, Delta Rage. You can find them on Reverb Nation right now. They got a lot of original stuff, new stuff coming out. They just played a show, this last weekend. It was an outdoor thing, so they were all safe and COVID free. But, they're out there making things happen just like I am. And we're trying to bring our musical communities back to life as much as we possibly can, no matter what the medium is. And we know that hopefully when this thing goes away, we'll be getting back out there again. In the meantime, I'll be getting on. We're going to show a little clip. And I've got a little music to play for you from Delta Rage right after this. And then after that, I'll be playing tonight for you live at Chance's house, season 1. Thank you, guys. We'll see you. Ryan, peace.
Thank you, brother. It was awesome. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Live at Chance's house. This is a special interview for season 1, episode 27. 27. Man, Xavier, didn't you come on here at like episode 7?
I think so. I was
Wow.
very early on.
Early on interview, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this is Xavier Valdez. If you guys remember from back in the day, which seems like it's been forever ago. Hey, we listened to and got an opportunity to hear one of his songs. It was a song that caught on early and something that I really dug, a song called Responsible. And we played it here at Live at Chance's house. Well, here's what's going on now. Xavier's come back and we are talking again
because he has a brand new EP release. It's called Sun, and it's got 4 tracks on it, and they're all great. Now, here's the really cool thing. At the end of this interview, we are going to world premiere, because it's going to come out tomorrow, actually. So Thursday night, tonight, on Live at Chance's house, we're going to world premiere the video for RTS. And let me tell you, this thing is amazing.
For sure.
Okay, so it's going on YouTube. What is your YouTube page?
I think you would just type in Xavier Valdez. Okay. There is a YouTube topic about me, and there's also my page. Final words, though. You know what? I'm just so happy that this EP is out, and like I was telling you, I'm ready to move on. So like I'm gonna be drilling on this Noisy Elephants, and I'll work on my own singles here and there. But like, yeah, I'm ready to move on, and this is great. I'm glad to be making music. You know, so no restrictions, and I love that.
Well, that sounds great. There's a lot to be excited about. Okay, guys, here's what I need you to do. First off, I need you to go to Apple Music, Google Play, or anywhere else you can find digital downloads, and I need you to go purchase Sun. It's the latest EP from Xavier Valdez. Tonight, we're going to watch RTS, and the world premiere video. Tomorrow, it'll be on YouTube as a premiere as well. In the meantime, check out his Instagram page. I'll have that posted along with his website as well, and give you all the links to where you can find all of the stuff. So
cool.
Once again, Xavier, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, dude.
And seriously, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. I mean, you know, my little show over here isn't much, but you know what? I would love to promote you in any way I can. I'm glad that I can do it.
Yeah.
All right. So right now, guys, this is RTS.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Live at Chance's House. For those of you who just joined in for the first time, my name is Chance Munsterman, and welcome to all of this. Hey, I've got some really exciting things to talk to you guys about, but more importantly, today is the day. It is Operation Kindness Month, Season 1, Episode 32 of Live at Chance's House. I've been telling you guys for the last couple of weeks, and we have Nikki Walker with us. She's the Director of Operations with Operation Kindness. Nikki, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on today, Chance.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited about this because, you know, when I first got started with all of the things that I've been doing over the last 6 months, I just threw a button up and said, all right, hey guys, let's donate some money. And then I got really serious around a couple of other organizations. And then I had a friend that was in need and we did a GoFundMe account. And that turned out to be really like wildly successful and it helped him out. So I was like, well, listen, when I get ready to do the next one, I'd like to get some, you know, get some teeth behind it a little bit and somewhat legitimize it to a certain extent, which is why I reached out to you guys. And I'm very thankful and I'm so blessed that you guys said, yeah, let's do it. What are we going to do? How can we help? And everyone, yourself, Colleen has been fantastic with the responses and just helping me out with just basic stuff, but it's been a blessing. So what exactly, I got to do 2 questions. We'll get things started here. I just kind of want to know a little bit about you. So what does Director of Operations at Operation Kindness mean? What do you do?
So myself and my team are in charge of all of our signature fundraising events. We have 2. One's called Canines, Cats, and Cabernet. And the other one, yeah, we throw the wine in there. And then we have the Hope Gala in the spring. We're also in charge of major gifts, and we do a lot of the fundraising for the organization. So those are our official titles. We also walk dogs. We socialize cats. We volunteer. Whenever you're a nonprofit, you do a little bit of everything and wear a lot of different hats.
Absolutely, that's true. So I've read about it because I'm a supporter already, and I dug in even more before we were going to do this interview. So I know the answer for the most part of this, but can you tell everyone a little bit about not only what Operation Kindness does and kind of how it got started?
So we're the leading no-kill animal shelter in North Texas. So we adopt out approximately 4,500 to 5,000 dogs and cats every year. We find them homes. We like to call them their forever homes. But on top of providing new homes for these animals, we also provide for all of their medical care while they're at the shelter. So spay, neuter, any surgeries that they may need. We also have behavioral support. So if maybe they need to learn some manners before they go into a new home, we also work with them on that. We have a surrender prevention program, which is one of my favorite programs in the shelter. So this is people who have maybe fallen on hard times, that maybe are looking to surrender their animals. We try to give them the support that they need so they get to keep their animals in their homes. We always say that the best adoption is one that never has to happen because the dog and the cat get to stay with their families. Yeah. So we do a lot around surrender prevention, which also ties into our pet food pantry. So if people are struggling and they're unable to feed their dog or their cat, then they can come to our pet food pantry and get what it is that they need.
Okay, so kind of wrapping up here, it's what I'd like to call the final word. What do you want to share? Is there anything that I can help? What else can we do? What can I do? What can our audience do? What can anyone who's watching this broadcast who shares it with someone else? Give me the recap. Tell me what I need to do. How can I help more? And what's the final word? Go.
Go to operationkindness.org. Make a donation to support the homeless dogs and cats in North Texas. If you're unable to make a donation, please come volunteer with us. It is a great place to come spend some time. We're very family friendly. So if you want to bring the kids up, I love seeing kids that are learning to volunteer at a very early age. Become a foster parent. You know, help us get some of these animals out of the other shelters. We work with other partners in North Texas, and it truly takes a village. So become a foster parent. You can donate food to our pet food pantry. There are so many different ways that you can help our organization. And then I'm going to end with, please consider adopting a dog or a cat and bringing them into your family. I like to tell people when you adopt a dog or a cat, you're really saving 2 lives. the one that you adopted, and the one that gets to come into Operation Kindness to find their forever home.
Wow, that's a fantastic way to end, and I really appreciate your time. I know that you guys have a lot going on. I understand that while I'm going to do everything that I possibly can do to try and give a little support and do our own community campaign fundraiser here with this program that's kind of evolved over the last 6 months. I know that I'm not as big a deal as some other people out there, but you coming on here is it's really important. And I really truly thank you for your time to say, you know what, everyone has an opportunity to do a little something, whether it's $5 or $5,000. I know that it helps your organization. So just the fact that you took a little bit of time out of your day to talk to me, and really talking to everyone who's going to be watching this, because I'm going to rebroadcast it probably at least one more time before the end of the month, and maybe on the last recap show that we do on October 1st. So there's going to be more opportunities. I really just thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to spread the word about our organization. It truly means a lot. I love what you're doing for us and for the other nonprofits, very worthy nonprofits here in North Texas that need your help. So thank you for all that you're doing as well.
I appreciate the sentiment. That means a lot to me. And I'm excited that, you know, we're going to be able to forge through. We still got technically 3 more shows. So I really got 3 weeks. I was kind of made September, like, instead of a 4-week month, I kind of made it a 5-week month by including October 1st.
Yay!
So we're going to do it. We got 3 more of these to go. Season 1, episode 32. Nikki Walk is her name. She's the director of operations for Operation Kindness. Check them out at operationkindness.org. And stay tuned for more right after this. Why does everybody really care, and why do we love Trent, and what's going on with that? It's because he's a funny sumbitch. That's why. And he makes me laugh, and we share a common love normally of a lot of things, but one of the things we share definitely a common love for is music. And Live at Chance's house started off with just me and an iPhone and being here and playing some music because I wanted to. And I just thought, hey, this would be cool. And now it's turned into a whole nother thing. So I told him, I said, as part of this deal is that we're going to be talking about some heavy stuff. So let's talk about some light stuff, and let's end this with a happy note, because I want to have a lot more of these conversations and a whole lot less of the other conversations. So I figured, you know what? We'll give everyone a little breath of life and talk about a few things, and then we're going to wrap it up. Guys, I was asked these set of questions actually about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've actually asked these questions for some other people, and it spurns a lot of great conversations. So Trent doesn't know what I'm going to ask him. This is going to be completely off the cuff. We don't need to get into any great length of detail. 8 music questions. First one, band you hate.
Pink Floyd.
Damn it. I think you're lying.
Well, I'm saying that for you.
I know. I'm just.
There
playing.
are some bands I hate. I got to stick with Pink Floyd just because of the Amigos.
Now it's almost like a joke. It's like Batman was a thing with one set of friends, and now you hating Pink Floyd is a whole thing with another set of friends. So I get it.
I respect Pink Floyd, but
they're not your thing. I get it.
No.
Mine, by the way, was Nirvana.
Well, a lot of people right now. Oh, Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam, yes, another band that I like. So we do disagree on certain things. I actually love Pearl Jam, and you don't.
No, I can't stand that band.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta give you one more that I hate.
Oh, sorry. We're on question 1 still. Go ahead.
That band that sucks. That Gwyneth Paltrow was married to the dude,
Oh,
Chris Martin.
Coldplay?
Yes.
Not a fan, huh?
How in the hell they sold out Texas Stadium supposedly? I mean, who thought that they could fill that place up?
There's a lot
Honestly,
of people. There's a lot of people that like them.
if you really like Coldplay and you were thinking about donating, I love Coldplay. They're awesome. Just
All
playing.
right.
I'll hate them anyway, no matter what you do.
That's funny. All right. Overrated bands. Or what? Just one. I just need one, not 3.
Overrated?
Yeah. Can't repeat.
Oh, I was like,
Can't repeat.
Just make the list.
It's really a thought-provoking question because there are some powerful brands. There's bands, there's brands, and there's bands, and there's some powerful brands of some bands that I just don't get. I'll tell you mine in a minute, but I want to know what you think.
Well, okay, so like I could say this. In country music, I think Florida Georgia Line sucks. But they're like guys that were singers in bands that couldn't make it, so they said, hey, let's put some pretty boys together and act like they can sing country, and they can't. You know, I kind of want to finish this off. And I know that if I'm real with myself and not trying to convince myself that I'll make it happen no matter what, the reality is I need any help. Any help I can get. I just wanted to make sure I said that so people understand that it's not just you and say it myself, not have other people say it for me.
Well, that's important, and I think that's a good way to wrap things up, Trent. And look, we've got a lot of living to do, a lot of fight still ahead, and a lot of things going on. So everyone who's watched so far, thank you for everything you've been on. Any questions that are in the comment section, we're going to get to those. We'll make sure that we'll answer them. I'm going to get this posted up. It's going to be on Facebook on a couple of pages. It's going to be on Trent's page. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, and we're going to just make sure that it's available for people who haven't been able to see it here. But it is on this Facebook page. It's on my personal page. It's also going to be on my music page called Music by Chance, and it's going to be there for replay. Thank you for everyone that's come. Thank you for everyone that's donated. Thank you for the kind words that you've given myself and the kind words you've given Trent, you know, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And Trent's already expressed it the same way. Thank you. It's the hope that brings more promise of a better future. And I don't think I can say it better than that. So with that said, Trent, thank you for coming and putting up with my crap and making you do this and getting to where you needed to be so we could do this. I love you, brother. And that's all I got. You got anything?
Yeah, hey, when you do that like scrolly thing across the bottom of the screen, can you maybe put it like right in the section where it covers my face? I didn't really do my hair and makeup, and that's true about this video stuff. About
lighting is important.
Well, yeah, because I'm like going, man, I got this thing, you know, and I've definitely proven to myself why I removed all mirrors from my place, and that I definitely should have been on the radio because I have a face for it.
I don't think we can end better than that. Everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
You know, to kind of shift gears, we were talking about when we had our kind of like pre-phone call before this of catching up, and we kind of got into it a little bit earlier about the karaoke days. I mean, I remember when you were doing the DJ thing and you were doing the karaoke hosting thing, lots of interesting nights that we had doing those shows. Two that came to mind for me was, I remember, of course, this is, you know, the internet's still there, but it's not, you know, in full fledged. Like you say, it's still kind of the AOL days. I remember going in one night and telling you that Rage Against the Machine broke up, and you had not heard that news. So, I mean, in today's day and age with the internet and social media, if Rage Against the Machine would have announced today they broke up, you would have known about it within 45 seconds to a minute.
Yep.
But you had somehow went that whole day and didn't know that Rage Against the Machine broke up.
Yep.
You made a phone call or two and verified that it wasn't just Max making stuff up, because Max likes to make stuff up. And that whole night, in between all of the karaoke songs or all the karaoke singers, whatever, all you did was play Rage Against the Machine all night long. And I always thought that was great. But here's a crazy one for you. And this is a little bit spooky. So when we had our phone call earlier this morning and we were talking and we kind of, you know, lined up everything. Hey, here's the time and here's all this good stuff, right? I had Spotify going, and I have a big playlist that's, honestly, I think I've got it up to like 32 hours now. And I just, you know, I hit play and shuffle and it goes. And it could be Frank Sinatra, and then it's going to be, you know, Rage Against the Machine, and then Smashing Pumpkins, and then theme from Star Wars. It is just the messiest playlist you've ever seen. So we got off the phone and I hit play on there, you know, because obviously I didn't want to have music in the background when we were talking. Don't remember what song finished, but the very next song that came on was Banditos. And I remember the day of September 11th, you were hosting a karaoke show, and we went out that night. Kevin Mills and I were there, and you had lost some friends in the attacks, or I can't remember if you lost them or you were in fear that you had, and you played that song over and over and over again because of the line in the song, "Everybody knows this world is full of stupid people." And I just thought that was so eerie when we had talked, and the very next song in my playlist was that song. And I had to bring that up to you because it started playing, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. You know, Spotify's not that smart. They weren't hanging out with us 19 years ago when that happened. How did Spotify just all of a sudden play that song? So I do remember, you know, you always hear about where were you at on September 11th. I mean, I remember that morning, obviously, you know, where I was, but then that evening of saying, you know, hey, you know, we gotta go do something to get our minds off of this. And I was surprised that you were even there. You know, a lot of places closed down, but there was something about just getting back to the normalcy of getting to do something that was normal that made you kind of forget about it. And I will never forget that night when you replaying that song over and over again. So,
yeah,
you know, like you said before, you and I go way back. I don't know if you even remember that or not, but you and I were together that day on September 11th. So
I do remember that, actually. And what's interesting is you've brought something up that no one knows, because it's one of my favorite songs, just because I think it's a funny song and I think it's great. It's so poignant and it's just a good track. But about, I don't know, 3 months ago, I made a video of me playing it acoustically, and I did like 6 panels of, you know, here's me, and here's me singing my backup, and here's me playing guitar, and here's me playing shaker, and here's me playing tambourine, and doing some silly stuff because I like the song. But I've liked that song for a lot of reasons, and I actually do remember that. And that was a hard day for our entire nation. It was a hard day, and yeah, I was fearful for some people. My wife lived in New York for many years, and we kind of didn't have, you know, we didn't know what was going on. We couldn't place it, and phone lines were out, and we were trying to get a hold of people, and it was important, and we had no idea what was going on. And so, yeah, I do remember that, and that's a great memory. Thank you for sharing that too, because sometimes we forget those moments, and it takes just a minute to reflect back and go, yep, that was a big deal, and here's why, and it meant something to me. And you know, that's one more reason why, while we may not have been in you know, contact for many years, you know, you and me and all of our, we still have a kind of a core group of people that used to go to those things that, you know, I'm still friends with a lot of them, actually all of them I'm still friends with. And we've had connections, we've had important connections, we've had big ones, we've had happy times, we've had sad times, we've shared, you know, funny moments, we've shared drunk moments, we've shared a lot of stuff. And you know, it's kind of amazing though, but you know, how just our worlds intersect, but then they slowly drift away if you don't maintain and just kind of nurture those relationships. It's not on purpose. It's not, hey, I don't like this person anymore. It's our lives went a different way because we found something that was important to us. I got married. You got married. I got out of karaoke. You got into, you know, your business. I got into my business. You know, everything that has evolved. And, you know, this is another perfect example of why I love doing Live at Chance's House and why you probably love doing podcasting now. We have now just reconnected something where I'm glad that we did. I now have another person that's in my life that I remember and still have truly memorable moments with. And you just reminded me again why stuff like this is so very important.
I agree. And even in this, you know, COVID era that we're in right now, or people call it the new normal, which I truly hate that term, because I hope this isn't really normal. I hope this is the temporary, and we do truly get back to the normal. I don't want everything to be Zoom phone calls and, you know, you never see anybody and you can't get together and you know, it'd be like if you and I were in the same room, but because of everything going on, the first thing we'd probably want to do is shake hands. But then I hadn't seen you in a while. It's like, okay, well, is Chance shaking hands? And you're thinking, well, is Max shaking hands? And the bizarreness that's going on with the social interactions because of all this is kind of putting a hurt on things. But in the same respect, the one thing I think that has shown a benefit is there might not have been a time where you and I could have met up and said, you know, hey, let's meet here for a drink, or, you know, let's try to get together and chat. But it's very easy for us to go ahead and plug the computer in and click a link and, you know, see each other face to face, even if it is through a camera, and catch up on old times. So I hope, honestly, with things like Zoom calls, podcasting, all that good stuff, that people are starting to make some more connections, maybe, you know, rekindling some of those old friendships, or catching up with people and saying, you know, and I hadn't thought about you in a while. What's been going on? What's new? And all that. Because I think a lot of people have already watched everything on Netflix. They've already watched everything on Hulu. And now it's find some new content to entertain myself and catch up with some people from the past and make some new friends. I hope to meet some new people through, you know, your connections. I hope you meet some new people through mine. I hope there's people that are going to, you know, listen to your new song, reach out to you and say, hey man, you know, it might not have been for this podcast. I might not have even heard of you or heard this song, but it's a great song and all that good stuff. I think that's where we could look at one thing this whole COVID mess might drag us out as a better society. Even with that word of mouth, now it's that digital word of mouth, but people are saying, hey, there's some talented people out there. There's some funny people out there. There's some interesting stories out there. And there's some old conversations that I need to get into and do a little reminiscing and move forward with things like that. So hopefully that's the silver lining on the horrible gray cloud we're in.
I couldn't agree more. And I appreciate the sentiment. And like I said, this is great. When you texted me a couple of weeks ago, I was like, hey man, I'm doing this thing. And, you know, I mean, it actually made me feel good, and it made me kind of proud, because you're like, hey man, I see you're doing this thing. Hey, can you tell me kind of what you're doing and what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's great. And you're like, you want to do an interview? I'm like, yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Let's do it. You know, it's, I wasn't expecting that. I was just, hey, we connected. And again, it's that fringe of people that and you kind of always have them there. But then I don't want to use the word take advantage. It's the idea that you always have people that in your life, we have to take the time every once in a while to stop and go, damn it, I got to call that person. I got to call that friend. I got to call my brother. I got to call my parents. We get into it even with the closest people in our lives. We get into that stuff where we just forget because we get so overwhelmed and consumed with what we're doing because we feel like that's all we have.
Yeah. And one good thing that a lot of us probably have going on right now is, a lot of the work from home and everything. So you cut out the car time. So we do have a little bit more time at home now. And maybe we're at a point now where we're starting to think about those relationships because it's, I gotta get up at this time. And if I don't get out of the house by this time, I'm going to have all this traffic. And then you're stressing out about that. And you're getting into the office, you're doing all that stuff. Then you're fighting all that traffic home. And by the time you get home, you got a couple hours to talk to the wife, play with the kids, do whatever you got to do around the house and go to sleep so you can wake up the next day and do it all again. And now that we got a little bit more free time, now we're actually finding the stuff that's important. In relationships, talking about stuff, that's what's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you tell me real quick where I know I can find The Wolf and the Shepherd on Spotify. Where else can I find you?
Yeah, so we're on all the major podcast providers, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, of course, and all the other ancillary ones. We do have a website that is almost done right now. If you go to thewolfandtheshepherd.com, it's going to point you to all our podcast links. And of course, it always will. Got a placeholder page there, but if you go to thewolfandtheshepherd.com, you can find all of our back catalog podcasts. My co-host, who couldn't be with us tonight, he's going to be doing some blog posts on there and stuff. He's a much better writer than I am. And if, for those that listen to this podcast all the time, like I said, he's away this week on what I call vacation, but what he would call holiday. So he decided to go on holiday this week. And but once he gets back, he's going to be adding some blog posts and, we're going to have links to guys like you, that have come on the show. And that way, if somebody's listening to this show, they can jump on the website and go find all your music. So, but yeah, thewolfandtheshepherd.com. We got a Facebook page too. Like I said, we launched a week ago, and the amount of listeners and the amount of followers has really blown us away. We were expecting maybe 5. We were going to be happy if the 2 of us and maybe 3 other people listened to it, and it's taken off, and we're happy about it. We're proud about it. We really enjoy what we're doing, and we're happy that other people seem to be happy with it as well.
That's awesome. Well, I think what we're going to do, kind of at this point is call it a night. I really appreciate you connecting and saying, hey, let's do this thing. This has been a lot of fun. And I love the fact that this was, there was a couple of questions, but I really feel like this is just a conversation of 2 friends that have been able to catch up after a long time. And I'm glad that we got to do it. I'm glad we got to do it.
I most certainly am too. And I do feel that way as well. I mean, we did talk about some stuff, but it was some catching up, and that's great. And I hope whenever the next song comes out, you'll hit me up and maybe we can do something like this again in the near future.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's great. The more that we have an opportunity, not only just to catch up, but maybe network together a little bit and bring our worlds together. I think that's a great thing. Hey man, great catching up with you. And
you as well.
Thank you very much. All right, everyone. This is once again Max Billington from The Wolf and the Shepherd, live at Chance's house, season 1, episode 33. It's Operation Kindness Month. Max, thank you so much for bringing this all together, man. This has just been awesome. I can't wait till we have an opportunity to do this again. And hey, man, let's not wait like 20 years before we talk again.
No kidding. Yeah, 20 years is going to be too long. There's going to be something better than Zoom in 20 years. It's going to be holograms or something like that. So So yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not 20 years. Yeah. When that next song drops, we're going to get together and we're going to talk again. I'm not going to let it drag on as long as I did before.
That's fantastic, man. I appreciate it. Guys, you can check him out at thewolfandtheshepherd.com, live at Chance's house. We'll be right back. I'm going to be playing for you for a little bit here. We'll see you guys here in just a few minutes. Thanks, guys.